Good morning, good people. This is your Poolproof Wisdom Moment. Well, I've gone and done it. I've put in an offer on a house and we're in escrow. I shouldn't say a house, it's a condo. There are a lot of reasons for that. I decided when I left my very large home in St. Louis that I didn't want the responsibility for maintenance and upkeep that it required. Here's the dynamic. I like things to look good. I believe in not deferring maintenance, but it's a whole lot of work. And you pay a whole lot of people to do it when you can't do it yourself, particularly when it comes to grass cutting, because I'm allergic to grass. Anyway, I digress. But I do have an offer that is in escrow regarding a very nice condo that I found here in Los Angeles. It will be my second time, for those of you who know, living in Los Angeles, and it will be my second time owning property in Los Angeles. And this time, it's a little bit different. I'm a bit older, I'm a bit wiser, I would like to think, and I also found, once I was able to get to the point where I found the property, that no matter how old you get, some habits die hard. Now, I'm not a worrier. I don't worry at all because I have faith and I have trust, and as a result of that, I don't have any reason to. But when you've come up through the ranks like I have, my story goes that I didn't just grow up poor, I grew up po. I grew up knowing what it's like to have no place to live, what it's like to not have food on the table. And so as I've grown into adulthood, particularly as I've grown older, I've been very wary of ever doing anything which puts me at risk of having those experiences again. So you can imagine when you go and buy a house, you have to put down payment down. There are associated costs with inspections and appraisals and a whole lot of other stuff. And I don't know about you, but despite the fact that I know it's all going to be okay, it really gets me unstable for a while. When I have to write another payment or send another wire payment or write a check, I get a little woozy. I get a little I don't know. I get a little weird about it because I just see money going out and not seeing anything coming in to replace it, and it makes me uncomfortable. But that's the point that I want to make to you today. It's okay that you feel that way, as it is in life with any set of emotions that we endure, even when we don't understand why. You've got to allow yourself to feel what you feel. That accomplishes a couple of things. Number one, it makes sure you don't build up in your own emotional reservoir all of these feelings that are just housed there with no place to go. Let them out, feel them, experience them, and then get past them. And that's what I did in this instance. It took a few days, but I'm much better now than I was 2 or 3 days ago. The second part of that is to understand that as you live your life, fearing or being overly concerned about a future you cannot predict is an absolute waste of your time. So I want to live in a property that I own because I am an owner. I am not really a renter. I have learned that lesson, believe me. And I understand that the only way I'm going to do that is to put myself out there, to take the risk, and to hope for the best. You can't worry about it. What you can do is choose to live into it. And that's what I'm doing. There is this idea that we have that we somehow have to avoid what we think may be inevitable. Taxes, bad relationships, bad jobs, death for that matter. But the fact is, you can't escape the inevitable because the only thing you can do is inevitably make sure you're doing your damnedest to live your best life no matter what the circumstances are. So whether you're buying a house, whether you're thinking about getting into a relationship, getting married, whether you're thinking about leaving a job or taking a new job, whatever it is that makes you get a little shaky, makes you feel a little bit weird because you're uncomfortable and not certain for however long it takes you to get over it, let yourself do it. Force yourself to do it and experience it and live through it and into it so that you can get on with your best life, whatever form that may be that it takes, because I guarantee you, inevitably, the one thing that you will have to rely on is the legacy of experiences and understanding you've created, because when everyone else may be choosing to not do something because they're afraid of what it may turn out as, you're doing exactly the opposite. You're living your life, you're forging ahead, and you're taking steps to be the best you can be, sight unseen, knowledge unaccessed, but simply stepping out on faith because you believe this is the best way to live your best life every freaking day that you get to live it. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be looking forward to moving, God willing, into a new place, start a new life again, because I believe every time you move, it's starting over in a sense. But I do so with certainty that there is purposefulness in making this step, and in making this choice, I am taking control of living. And that's what we all should endeavor to do. And that, my friends, is your Poolproof Wisdom moment for today. You can always find my podcast, Poolproof Wisdom, Conversations Included, on Spotify, on Apple and Google Podcasts, on Anchor FM, and dozens upon dozens of podcast platforms everywhere. As usual, I'm going to keep hawking my book, I Am My Own Cause, the third act, Surviving and Thriving, available now on Audible and in print versions on Amazon and online booksellers everywhere. Listen, folks, it's the weekend. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great, but only as much as you decide that's what it's going to be for you. So I pray and I hope and I encourage you to make it a great one.